well, how do you register a car without a title? It's like, bro, what are you talking about? It's $2,500. We can get that. Mind-boggling. So I hate to be the poster child of getting older, but I'm getting older. So is everybody else. You're getting older while you watch me get older right now. Think about that, right? But getting older presents significant challenges. And a lot of it is not really serious, but it's something that requires management, like pain. Pain is joint relief. Like, I'm a runner and my knees don't last very well after 8 miles. And I know that's funny to say, but it's true, and it's something that I end up limping around a lot. Joint pain, arthritis, inflammation, that's all stuff that you deal with as you get older, and that's where today's video sponsor, Real Living Markets, literally has you covered. And they've got relief covered in 2 different ways. They've got the lotions or the oils. You could try either of them out or a combination of the 2 to see which works better. There's a clear difference between CBD and THC. THC can get you high, CBD cannot. So it's not like you're doing drugs or anything like that. This is for pain relief, and it makes you feel good. And it also feels good to support a family business here in America. Now I'm showing my age, because this is the stuff that gets me excited. But if you want to try them out, there's going to be a link right below in the description. You're going to get 15% off your order if you use the link. I mean, come on. Life is better on the other side of that order. Give them a shot. Check the link in the description. What's going on, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and sometimes I get surprised, right? Like, cars are stolen, but what do you do when you steal a car? Like, what do you part it out? Do you send it to Africa? There's got to be some criminal underbelly operating this where they steal the cars and then they chop them up or they do something with them. Little did I know, you could just go on Facebook and sell it. Just like that, right? Like, it's like, wow, that's weird. Facebook, is that morally, like, superior website that doesn't let you misgender somebody, doesn't let you give a political opinion somebody doesn't agree with, but you can sell stolen cars. That's one of those things that blew my mind. And I'm like, wait, how are they doing this out in the open, right? This is almost like when Craigslist had the back page, which was for hookers. We'll just say it. Craigslist had a hooker thing. That got shut down. Everyone was morally outraged that, like, women were trying to charge money for sex and guys were willing to do it. And then next thing you know, you could just go online and connect A to C, right? So that's what Facebook is doing right now with these groups that aren't just like, oh, there's like 12 people in them. These groups have 70,000 people, 30,000 people. I mean, that's filling the entire, like, giant stadium, right? MetLife Arena, whatever it's called, with people buying, selling, or watching the buying and selling of stolen property, right? Just look up no title cars for sale, right? Why would you have a title for your car, right? There are legitimate reasons, but when you start going in these groups, you can tell these legitimate reasons aren't accurate. Usually, even when I bought my Supra, not that one, my 95, the woman didn't have the title, so she didn't want my money yet. She's like, look, I have to apply to get the title. It was my father's car. He passed away. We don't know where the title is. We have to apply and get another one. That's legitimate reason why you don't have a title, but you can get one. There's a couple of ways to come up with a car without a title or equipment or whatever you have, and the easiest way is to go steal it, right? And this is rampant. But the problem is when you steal it, it should be difficult to get rid of, right? You should have like these networks of chop shops or exporters or something like that. Instead, you have these guys just like, oh yeah, I'll just go sell it online. Hey, who's got some Hellcats for sale? I got 5 G's cash. And how do you know the cars that are legitimately like been rotting in somebody's yard for 30 years? I don't know who the title belongs to, and like, whatever, if somebody wants this, they can have it for parts. And the people just selling stolen cars and or other felonies, right? Because it's not just stealing cars. A lot of people are saying there's a lien attached to it, which means there's a bank that has the car, it hasn't been reported stolen because the bank can't report their lease stolen, and you're behind in payments. So what do? Sell it for 10 grand and say, come looking for it. Because a bank has a repo process, right? If you don't pay your bank, the bank puts out a repossession order on your car, and you get guys trolling around in their tow trucks waiting to pick up that car as soon as you turn your head, and they're going to take your car and go bye-bye and bring it back to the bank, right? They get paid by the banks to do this. But apparently, according to these guys, there's laws that prevent banks from being able to report the car stolen because they know you have it, right? It's not only the person who is on the paperwork can report the car stolen. Now, granted, I've experienced this in the rental car world where I couldn't report a car stolen when I gave it to a renter because it's considered conversion. But once they disable the tracking, that changes the dynamic and then I can report it stolen. So there's probably conditions in which you can report a car stolen, but you go on these groups and you see there is no intention to like sort of skate. It's the if you know sort of thing. It's like, hey, there's guys on there that can make you titles. And they're like, well, how do you register a car without a title? It's like, bro, what are you talking about? It's $2,500. We can get that. Mind-boggling. Now, the fact that this is, again, trading out in the open, and you've got guys on there washing titles, and this is the same thing. How do you get a stolen car registered if the VIN number is reported stolen? Well, that's where they go buy VIN numbers off of other cars, and they VIN swap the cars. And then it turns out you're buying a car, but how can you do this? Why would you do this? Like, if you're buying it for a racetrack, it's still committing a felony. If you're buying a car from somebody for 30 cents on the dollar, right? If you're buying a 2020 Range Rover for 10 grand, you know there's a problem with that. You know somebody is committing a felony and now you're buying stolen property. And it's absolutely mind-boggling to me that this transpires out in the open. If you want to be like that rookie cop that goes in and be like, all right, let me try to make a name for myself. Just look at every top contributor in these groups. Top contributor, top contributor, top contributor. That guy's probably worth arresting, right? Or it's not hard to build a case on that person because that guy is at the center of this. And the fact that it trades openly and it's becoming like an open market for essentially, and not drugs, but essentially for selling stolen or insurance fraudulent cars. And when I say insurance fraudulent, I just made that up. It is when somebody's defrauding their leasing company or their insurance company and selling a car. Imagine you have a car, you're behind in payments. You call it in and say, hey, somebody stole my car, but they didn't really steal your car. You're just going to sell it to some other guy with a title, without the title, because they're going to give you 10 grand. Your insurance company is going to pay off your loan. Your insurance company, so you're either committing insurance fraud, you're hiding it from the bank and selling it to somebody. This is all bad news. And the fact that Facebook lets this fly is mind-boggling to me. Like, I understand if people have stolen stuff and they want to like hush-hush sell it, but that should be difficult, not easy. And that's where I take an issue with this. Like, rookie cop that goes out and be like, yo, I just cleaned up 20 different people selling stolen goods. And maybe they do, right? Maybe the cops are actually like straw buyers or fake buyers of these. Like, I got 10 grand in cash, I'll come buy your car. And they're trying to get these guys this way, and they're just making it easy on them. I just don't see it because cars are still being stolen. People are still defrauding leasing companies. People are still defrauding insurance companies, and it makes everything else more expensive for us, right? Nobody feels bad for an insurance company. Nobody feels bad for a leasing company. They've got all this money, but you got to do things by the books. And if you don't, you got to know some skeezy guy where there's probably a 90% chance he's just going to rob you and take your money and walk away anyway. And that's what a lot of these people do. Like, hey, yeah, send me a deposit so I know you're real. You send them 5 grand, they disappear. There's no car, there's no title, they're just defrauding you. It's a very dangerous game to play. I wouldn't want to buy stolen merchandise off of somebody because I think the risk factor is significantly higher. But if you're scumbag dealing with scumbag, then you're ready to shoot each other over this nonsense. And Facebook makes that happen. Wow. Yeah. So, look, again, I just want to be as objective as possible. Is there a reason to have a no-title vehicle or a no-title car? Sure. Like, is that the predominant use of these groups? Not from my experience. Hey, how do you disable OnStar tracking in a car? I mean, these are the posts that are in there. And it's just, you know, if you know, you know. Rob Ferretti, thank you for watching. If you're looking to buy a stolen car or steal a car and sell it somewhere, there you go. Hit up Facebook. They've got you covered.